dead body. Let's pick it up. Let's go show it to the police so then we can get demonetized.
It should be under your general settings.
Okay, I'm at menu.
I broke down under 6K, bounced
Right, go to your settings.
12% day right now. She's pushing
And then either switch or sign out.
Gimme?
Switch? How do I switch? I'm at settings.
Very clutch.
Are you under settings?
Index
Take
still
general
completely in the shitter.
I'm in settings.
Right, go under the
Like
tab
an
general.
Absolute joke. I mean, anyone who watched that dump over the weekend knew that there's no volume
Going
to
to
it.
the tab.
Paper thin order books.
General, yep.
So the bounce.
Right, and then in that tab, just scroll down and it should say
Just a
either
matter
to
now
switch your
if you can
account
actually
or
get
to
above
sign out.
7K.
Okay, switch
That's
account.
going to be the next big level I'm watching for.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know what you guys think in the chat. Has the recent pump turned you bullish? Or are you still bearish due to global health?
Oh, is that Matt? Hi, Matt.
Even the normie market's pumped up today. That was.
Hey, Lou?
Oh, it's Scott.
Good to see.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Matt.
Hey,
This
it's
goes to
Sean.
show you that the stock market.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good. Are you the one in the yellow hat?
I'm logging
No,
into
you
it right
changed
now.
it.
Give me a minute.
Okay, no worries.
Let me add you, Scott. Yes.
My Quest wouldn't boot up.
Oh, got it.
Link into YouTube page.
And I've got a Korean TV station here in my apartment
Into
as
the
well, so
YouTube.
that's interesting.
Yo, Sky, what's going on, man?
Are you doing
How's it
it?
going?
Just
Pretty
so
cool, right?
many different.
It's kind of cool, but you know, I mean, I don't know.
Just
It's
wait.
kind of weird.
It's better than
Okay.
your
What's up, Corbin?
better than your like computer camera. That you
Who's
have.
that? It's
You
Sean.
guys feel free to join us in VR.
What's up, man?
Social
How you doing?
distancing is key right now. That's why the virtual alt
Well,
offers
in
a
Corona Land, I don't know if we're supposed
alternative
to go
in physical social gatherings.
Wait, do you have what device are you on?
Increase your microphone.
What's that? What device are you on?
Cyberspace, we can do shit.
Oculus Quest.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Scott, yeah.
And ladies?
Your hands are moving.
Yes.
Are they not?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna log in.
I like sped
Uh-huh.
set up spolios.
My
That might be the issue.
Name, and now I'm trying to put in my password.
You want to take a selfie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
let's do
struggling.
it.
Is it not letting you do it, or is it like
No, I can't.
Let me see if I can do
Okay,
it
I'm trying to
again.
send it to you as a friend.
It's not-
Nice. What's up, Jeff?
This is why I want to get here at 6. Annalise?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I want to get here at 6, because shit happens.
Okay, yeah, I guess 3 minute troubleshoot / meet and greet. That's usually what most Crypto Monday is like. The first 3 minutes is like kind of everyone just gathering, and then we get into the talk.
Yeah, there's like a
Okay,
crazy
well,
I
I
think
can't
if
switch
people
at the
aren't
moment.
using headphones.
Okay, what is it telling you? Is it giving you an error? Like,
What's up, Corbin?
So sorry, I'm trying to get my hands to show up. Give me one sec.
Oh, guests that they've invited me are just figuring
Hey,
out for the first time. Log in.
I think Lou disappeared.
Hey, Dimitri.
Yeah.
Guys, feel free to mingle, guys, for right now.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
haven't
it's
got
okay.
started
Oh,
yet.
yeah. I thought you were somebody. I thought you were a different Dimitri. But hi. What's up?
Yeah, okay. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go to the bedroom?
This is such a
Thanks.
weird.
Okay.
Wait, can I move over here?
All right.
Daniel, can we? Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Sean?
Malcolm.
How's it going?
Where's Sean?
That's Malcolm, and that is.
You hear my voice?
Sean?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
no,
totally
wait,
hear you.
Can't both be.
Okay, good.
Hey, Mike.
Somebody
Yo,
needs
yo, what's up?
Hey,
Which
Dimitri.
one are you?
Yes,
yeah.
hello.
Wait,
I'm
which one
standing
are
right in
Oh,
front of
yes.
you, I
I
think.
think there's some folks using headsets.
Yes.
that
Can you see me?
Malcolm?
And I think the reason why
Wait,
you hear like an
oh, is
echo
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that there.
See him right now?
Okay.
Okay.
it comes out.
We see you, Malcolm.
Okay, so I'm gonna add you as a
All right.
friend. Add Lou as a friend. All right, cool.
So yeah.
Yo, folks, what's up?
Hey, Mary
Yeah,
Beth.
me too.
very cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
No, I thought you
I
were in the
don't know if
bedroom.
I've
No,
ever been to a
I'm
virtual
talking to you,
meetup.
and I'm talking to you in the.
Yep. And this is
I'm talking to you.
our place.
Yeah, take a quick
Okay.
selfie.
Okay. Hey, Sky.
Document. What's up?
Is Sean around?
Yeah, this is Sean right here.
All right. Hey, Sean.
Hey, where should I stand?
Well, I think we can go on stage. Where's Annalise? She can tell us how to go on stage.
Cool.
Oh, all right.
Annalise?
Follow me.
There.
Follow me.
Where's Annalise? There she
Okay.
is. So go follow Annalise.
Okay.
You know you can fly.
Perfect.
Hey.
Yeah, follow me.
Yep.
Was it down this passage? Was
Hey,
it down
Dora.
this one? Or yeah, it is down this one.
I thought it was on the other side of the stage.
Here.
Where do you go?
Right here.
Hey, Sean.
Whoever's following me to get to the stage. Are you coming on the stage with me? No. Hey guys, I'm over here. Just join me when you're ready. Right
Is
here.
this it?
Yep. Come.
Okay.
All right, follow me. Follow me. It's down this way. You see the red stairs?
Yep.
All right, just follow it onto the stage. And here we are.
All right.
I love how they walk around.
Yeah, it's a little hidden, so people just don't decide to jump on.
Yeah. Got it.
All right, and then whenever you're ready, just go for it.
All right. Sean.
Hey,
Welcome.
how's it going?
Annalise.
Hello. How are we today?
All right. Hey, everybody. Out there, raise your hand if you can hear us. And you can raise your hand. Okay.
Raise your hand
Cool.
or give me an emoji.
There you go. Okay. Thanks for the hearts. Okay. So, Sean, welcome to Crypto Mondays VR.
Thank you.
Have you done other events in VR yet?
I've gone to events, but myself, I actually haven't done a ton.
And so, what events have you been to?
Let's see. I mean, within Altspace, there's like various meetups on Sunday night. There's been a few other things like there've been concerts. Both the Wave, they used to be called the Wave VR, has done a variety of synchronous events where they've done kind of synthetic artists doing DJ sets. Yeah, things like that. And yeah, I love Rec Room. Also does a variety of events. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And what do you think of it so far?
I mean, this is interesting, and I think both Altspace and VR Chat. I mean, I've used a lot of these spaces, and I think it's getting better and better. I think going cross-platform across multiple different systems is going to be something that will be quite necessary for this to become really, really popular. Yeah, there's very
Why did it
few
start
events that I
echoing?
think are able to balance each and every single mode. But we're going to see a lot of experimentation. I do hope that eventually we'll see a blurring of like Zoom and maybe even VR, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
kind of
think
living on Zoom these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we wanted to, we could like Zoom up here so we could port this to a Zoom.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think there is going to be a lot of cross fertilization. So let's talk about your crypto journey a little bit. So how did you get into crypto?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got into crypto and blockchain when I went to a dinner maybe in 2016. I was at a generalist VC called Vayner before, and it was hosted by a Wall Street Journal reporter and author named Paul Vigna. And at the time, he and his counterpart had just left the Wall Street Journal, and they were about to go on a book tour for
Right,
the
but
book
how
called
else
The
do you
Age of
make money?
Cryptocurrency. And it was just fascinating because at this point, Bitcoin was right around, I think it was hovering below 1,000 or so, and ETH was still pretty brand new. And he just spent a 2-hour dinner kind of explaining to a room full of, I guess, high net worths at a fund called Silver Lake, kind of why he thought
And
this
what
was
was
interesting.
what was the time frame?
Yeah, this was like 2016, 2016, I think.
Early, late?
Probably early.
Yeah, so obviously way before the big run.
Yes, yeah. And it was right when they came out with a book called In the Age of Cryptocurrency. And then I started going to a variety of events in New York. There were a few great events called Ethereal that Consensus had been put on. Yeah, no, you're back on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to a few great conferences called Ethereal, put on by Consensus. Sorry, I kind of hear my voice if you're not using headphones.
Yes, we also should do
Hello?
I'm making sure everyone's muted, so you
Okay,
shouldn't
cool.
hear it.
Got it. Sorry. Yeah, so Ethereal, if you're ever in New York, and if we ever get back to normal world where there's actually events, Consensus puts on a developer-centric event called Ethereal, and the very first one was about 5 blocks away from my apartment in Gowanus in Brooklyn. And so after that, they've done almost maybe a dozen events or so over the course of the last three and they've been wonderful. So if you've ever wanted to been curious about what's on the bleeding edge of what tools to use, what libraries there are, what are some of the bleeding edge use cases, Consensus has a variety of really, really amazing things that you can experiment with. And I think one of the best parts is actually getting paid to learn. So if you are someone that's trying to explore using smart contracts or want to get a little bit further and further into Solidity, check out Gitcoin. That site is a great way to kind of get paid to solve problems. And there's a variety of other grant programs and new tools like and things that you should check out. Consensus has a whole suite of products called Codify, or it's short for Commerce and Decentralized Finance. It has a suite of tools and solutions that you can really check out and get inspired by for what could be done with crypto and blockchain beyond just the financial aspect.
And so, I was at the Ethereal Summit in Tel Aviv. I guess it was like November, and it was awesome. I mean, people said it was widely considered to be the best crypto event in the history of Israel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I was having my second kid then, so I wasn't able to fly out, but Dror, who is our main Tel Aviv lead out there, said it was spectacular, and that everybody from the entire tech community came out and said we're really excited to maybe host another one out there eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously so much going on in crypto there as well. So let's talk about kind of what you're doing now day to day at Consensus, because it sounds super interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So leading up to about 3 months ago, I was leading the labs team. So the basically responsible for the incubator. And subsequently after that, it also started to merge a variety of our other investment functions like the ventures team, our accelerator Tachyon. So if you're looking for an accelerator program, definitely check out Tachyon, Tachyon accelerator. We've done 3 cohorts so far. And then these days I've been focused internally on a lot of our internal portfolio companies. So companies like OpenLaw or Virtue Poker or L'Equality. Those are some of the companies that I've been working with internally, and then also previously with teams like MetaMask, and 3Box and companies like that. So yeah, if you're curious about what some of these tools and solutions could do, please feel free to email me. Focus right now on helping them either raise capital or actually helping them with their product roadmaps and their strategies for how they go about each next phase. So one example is Virtue Poker. So if any of you are interested in checking out a Ethereum and blockchain-based way by which you can custody your own tokens and not be censored by if you've ever played PokerStars. Any of you play PokerStars or I guess Full Tilt historically in the last 10, 15 years, or any poker game?
Yeah, there are a lot of crypto poker games going on now.
So this one allows for you to ensure that you're always custodying your assets, and then also has a whole tokenized system to be able to ensure that there truly is randomization around both the cards and the dealers, and ensuring that there's some sort of interoperability with how some of the existing poker world and crypto world come together. So it's also invested in and sponsored by Phil Ivey. So if you love poker, Phil Ivey is basically like the Tiger Woods of poker, and so he's doing a promotion pretty soon. Same with Brian Rass. So if
Shelly, you want to see this real quick?
Are multiple time World Series of Poker winners, and they're going to be doing a couple big promotions whereby which if you bust them from their tournament, you will actually get real ETH. And so Ryan Gittleson, the CEO of Virtue Poker, and the rest of the team have given away tens of thousands of dollars so far to kind of check it out and kind of experiment and see if things like poker can be a great on-ramp for regular folks to kind of check out gaming within the space.
Very cool. And you want to talk about too the OpenLaw, because I think what they're doing is going to be so helpful.
Oh yeah. How many of you guys are developers?
I don't see anything over there. Just a lot of ball.
So I got
that's over here.
I got 4. Wow. Okay. So
over there, there's just a big empty room.
The entire room are developers. So OpenLaw's whole vision really was, how do you make smart contracts legally enforceable, and how do you think
this one
about
just came over? He has a penis.
The way by which to help make the world even better and more secure. And so OpenLaw.
No, there's one of them came over here.
Is called Ironclad.
One's now hiding halfway behind a wall. The other ones are still over here.
Testing this in the next couple months.
That's the one with the penis.
To have interoperability with Word.
The one where he's here comes one.
Will be able to be encoded into a smart contract.
No, they're over here.
And you'll be able
to. But now there's 2 of them.
And not program, I guess, all of the stipulations within a contract without necessarily having to have some sort of arbitration after the fact, which is really, really exciting if you're an employee of a company, if you're using an API, if you're using almost any form of technology where there's a legal contract, OpenLaw is going to make better. The second one that I think is even more exciting is called the LAO, the Legally Autonomous Organization. It'll be like the DAO. So for those of you that don't know what a DAO is, decentralized autonomous organizations are one way by which you can actually govern a whole new system. So for those of you that are following MakerDAO or following some of these other tokens that actually have decentralized governing systems whereby which you, the people, you, the developers, you, the users, can decide how an entire system is governed and what gets voted on, and you have some sort of a democratic element. OpenLaw has a product that does DAOs as a service. So imagine Chainlink, imagine Pool Together, imagine one of these other products whereby which you're making a big decision like how they should decide what geography to go after, or whether or not a market manipulated event like in Maker's situation from 2-3 weeks ago, for those of you that were following along, whether or not that $700,000 should be dozens of these patents. So if you haven't checked out what DAOs are and you haven't checked out what the LAO is, LAO, go to their Medium page for OpenLaw and check it out, because instead of relying on Facebook or Google or Amazon or some of these other banks or centralized authorities, you're going to be able to say, hey, I want to be a part of the governing board or buy tokens to be able to vote and say, this is how I think this company should be run. It shouldn't be like Zuck or even, Philip Rosenthal, right? We're standing in alt space right now. And there's obviously a variety of other VR chat and variety of other social networks whereby which they're all siloed, right? So if you all have been in VR for a little while, there's a dozen some odd social networks, but they all are not interoperable, which is super, super lame, right? For us not to be able to take our credentials and go from platform to platform, how annoying is it that we all have to create a new avatar, a new login for every single social network? Eventually, I think one of the biggest parts of crypto and blockchain and open source that I'm excited to happen in VR is for us to be able to
crypto and blockchain.
Take all our identity and our credentials with us wherever we go, and allow for the companies that are able to talk to each other, be the place for the companies that we
this
gravitate
virtual world,
towards. So
and I went to this
that's
Crypto
going to be
Monday
something
VR.
that I expect to happen.
So these guys are
maybe
on
in the
stage
next 3 to
talking about
5
these
years.
coins
Yeah,
and
little
stuff.
by little, there's going to be more and more companies that I think start to realize that a closed garden system is very lame and
this was
not
just
user friendly. So yeah, looking
when
forward
I
to
went
that.
through menu, I found it.
Yeah, I
Crypto
think
Mondays.
it's gonna change the world. So I think I'm happy to now open it up to questions from the audience, and I'd just like to point out Mike Evron. Mike, you want to walk a little closer to the stage? You hear us? So
I can try. Hold on.
Raise your hand, Mike. Yeah, there he is.
That's me.
So
Hold on.
Mike runs Crypto Mondays LA, which was the second Crypto Mondays after New York that was started. And he actually just got his Oculus Quest. And so, Mike, I assume this is like your first crypto or first VR event?
Yeah, absolutely. I tried a couple of games.
And Lee's?
Just real quick, yeah, I hear you, but just real quick, guys, I muted some of you guys if we're gonna take questions from the audience, but can you please mute your mics if you're not actively talking? Thank you.
So, Mike, I think you can talk now.
Yeah, I should. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mike.
Portal, please close your portal. I would appreciate it. Please close that portal, or you will be kicked.
Wait, close that portal. How do you do that?
There was a portal.
You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I think the floor is yours, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so this is my first VR event. Very confused. I'll sort of figure it out as I go along, I guess. But thanks for the intro, Lou. Yeah. So,
yeah.
we will be having
and Lee's, is this being videoed? And Lee's?
Yes, we are streaming.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, okay.
And this is being recorded, right?
That is correct.
So yeah, so
They're
this
recording
lives
this
forever,
stuff and
Mike. So you'll be
everything.
able to look back
This
on
is
this and
deep.
remember your very first
I mean, I can't believe this.
VR event. So
we do have some.
Anybody else in the audience have any questions for Sean? Raise your hand if you got a question.
Let me know, guys, so I can unmute you. If you have a question, just raise your hand or throw an emoji up so I can unmute you.
Going once?
One in the
Anybody?
back. Zap. What's up, Zap?
Yeah, my question isn't
twice.
about the program. I'm having trouble in your event space. I'm getting double images.
To the stage, please.
Sorry?
Can you come closer to the stage?
My question isn't about crypto stuff. Your event, I'm seeing double images in here, and I'm wondering how other people are in here. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that problem. Sorry?
I haven't had that problem. That might be a settings issue where you might need to change, I guess, how it displays either on your headset or are you on a desktop or a headset?
I'm on a headset and I'm on a Rift.
Okay.
And this is the first time this has ever happened. Now this is hooked up to a TV too, and if I see it on the TV, it looks perfectly fine. But it,
Sean, then continue it. Yeah, and see if anybody in after this, you can go. With the other people. What are you most excited about?
I'm in some. I went to the meeting and just got into this crypto Monday.
Sorry, is there someone talking right now?
Yeah, so I think
it was just some feedback, but I muted it.
We'll mute them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what am I most excited about? Yeah.
Can you get off stage?
That's on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Lou, roll with the punches here. I love it. Going into 2020, I mean, how many of you guys are quarantined right now and stuck at home? Can I get an emoji or a hand or?
I think it's almost everybody.
It's almost everybody. So most of you might be stateside. Okay. So I don't think I see an end of the. Sorry. Is mic on? My echo is really distracting. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think this will be a really interesting time where it catalyzes us to be really, really remote first and digital first. I even just hearing about the concerns of even passing digital cash around, right? So, crypto, for those of you that are active traders, what happens to our cash-based societies, right? So I'm really excited to see what that looks like. I'm excited to see also with non-fungible tokens and also new games. So I know Tezos just announced their version of a Magic the Gathering type game. And we also have a game called Skyweavers, the creator. And so, yeah, turn-based games I think are really, really interesting. I think DAOs are going to be really exciting. So what does it look like for us to not just be users of these platforms, but blur the line between user and owner, right? Because if you ask yourself the question of, what is better than free, right? So if we all use Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, what can people do in order to compete with the freemium business model or the advertising-based business model, which is kind of under attack right now because of companies like Apple, for example, that are going by default and cutting out cookies, right? And it's making it harder and harder for Facebook and Google and a variety of other advertising companies and even media publishers to monetize all the work that they do. So I'm actually really interested in alternative business models. So for you all out there that are developers, for you all out there that are users that want to own a piece of the systems and the products that you use, I think it's going to be an exciting year, right? Because each of us is voting, right? Each of us is voting right now because we've purchased from Facebook or HTC or Microsoft one of these headsets. We've voted to use Altspace, right? And we're also voting in terms of being able to say, hey, we believe that the products and services that we use, we're reinforcing the world that we want, right? And so my hope is that going into this year, we're going to see people vote with their feet or maybe vote with their credit cards as to which systems that they want to be a part of. And my hope is that tokenization, DAOs, NFTs, gaming, and even how the future of work and how people start to see a better interplay between Zoom or Slack or other home-centric or remote-first devices and tools really become at the forefront and at the center of what we do. And then as we kind of go through this pandemic, I'm excited for telemedicine, virtual education. I'm really excited also just to see how people get over themselves and become less fearful of pressing the record button or going live on Instagram Live or pressing record and just putting themselves out there. I do think that we currently live in a world where people kind of have a lot of fatigue with maybe some of the standard types of social media and sharing. And so maybe as the world is more captively stuck at home, that we get a little bit more bold with what we do, with how we create media. I think my favorite example of that right now is a portfolio company of ours that's #1 on social that from my last company. And at Vayner, we had invested in a company called Meerkat. For those of you that have ever done live streaming or participated in live stream, Meerkat was the #1 competitor of Periscope. And Meerkat, Ben, eventually pivoted towards building a company called House Party. And so House Party right now is a video streaming app built for small groups of people. And so it's 8 people and below, and it's optimized for a small group of people and friends to be able to not only video chat, but also to play games with each other, and to really take a AIM approach. So if you guys use AIM, it's Messenger, it's AOL, right? So AIM, what was really, really cool about it, or ICQ, or one of these other bulletin board services, was that when you logged on, similar to maybe like Messenger, which I don't really think many people think of Messenger this way, but when you log on, you're essentially saying, I am available to chat. I'm available to interact with you. I'm available to have some sort of social engagement, right? So when you would log on, you're essentially opening yourself up to a social interaction. And in the same way, House Party, when you log on, anyone can with one click start to video chat or join a room and just automatically start to video chat, which I think is pretty amazing, because right now the barrier to FaceTiming someone, whether it's your friends or your family, there's kind of the high social barrier, right? There's a high friction in that you feel like you might need to schedule ahead of time, unless it's your a loved one or family member. And House Party really, really lowers the bar so that the social mores and the social behavior starts to become a little bit more casual. And so you just open up the app, and the app just automatically pings your friends. Or you can turn that feature off, and then it allows for friends to kind of dive in and out. And so companies like that, features like that, where people start to blend both the desktop experience and the mobile experience, that interoperability is not just novel, but it's going to be something that I think is going to be expected of users, right? We're not only going to expect every website to have a mobile site, but we're going to expect them to be seamless, interoperable, the same way that we're hopefully treating things like AltSpace, right? Because we're also able to log into AltSpace through our desktops, but we want to start to prioritize the features that make it stickier and make it more fun and engaging for people to be able to come in and out, no matter what platform or what system you might be actually starting with at the beginning. So even though the world is falling apart in a lot of ways with the health crisis, I'm really excited for technology and for people to really start to experiment with these. I think there's a big question of how many of these things will stick around after the pandemic, but yeah, we'll see which ones actually keep the total amount of users that they've acquired. Like the delivery sites, I think Amazon's increasing their workforce by 100,000 people. Instacart is increasing their customer or their fleet and delivery and shoppers by 300,000. So we'll see, right? By the fall,
to say as loud as you can, I hate
whether or
you.
not there's like 100,000 or 400,000 of these folks actually starting to become a part of each of these new economies and new businesses. And maybe we stop going to the grocery store as often as collectively as a society and spend more time talking and engaging and building versus commuting between our physical spaces that we used to kind of just do, maybe out of habit versus just actual necessity.
I think it's hard to know what we're going to be doing when this is done. We don't even know what this is yet. Other than synopsis, it's gonna we barely felt the impact of. I think. House party, the former Meerkat, I remember being at Southwest about 5 years ago. Totally took over the whole event. And then, obviously with Periscope, they needed to pivot. And did they get acquired? I thought somebody
they were, yeah. Twitter is the parent company of Periscope.
No, I'm a Twitter. Periscope. No, I'm saying House Party.
No, I think they're still acquiring users, and I think they're still getting kind of interest right now.
Yeah. Okay, I thought they were acquired by something. I could be wrong. Okay. Well, this has been great. Give another option. If anybody out in the audience has a question for Sean, happy to take more questions from the audience. Yep. Corbin, you got a question? Want to come up to the stage?
Just unmute yourself.
Okay. We should be able to hear you. Annalise, can you? Yeah. Can you come a little closer to us up here on stage? There you go.
Yeah. Can
you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Can you hear him?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And Lou, you're absolutely right. It was epic.
The hot dog.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
I guess the greatest game engine.
Daniel.
Okay. Yeah. They have some cool money.
What's up, Corbin? Awesome. Yeah. Hey guys. So number one, thank you guys for setting this up. And so since we're witnessing the early days of both VR and digitally native ownership through crypto and blockchain, my question for Sean is in line with Snow Crash and Ready Player One. When you can own any in-game item for your metaverse or your alt space, what in-game items are going to be the top of your list that you're going to want to own?
That's a great question.
Can you repeat it just in case people can hear it?
Absolutely. So Corbin's question was, in a world where you can own digitally scarce items, which items are we most excited to own? And it's actually related to Lou's question, right? So it's been about 3.5 years since I was at last fun. So we had 80 editions there. I was trying to remember what happened during House Party and Demons and paying attention, but I remember that they got acquired by Epic. For those of you that any of you guys developers, anyone ever use Epic Unity? Okay, no game developers in the audience. Okay, so quick primer. Ultimately, most games are being built with these game engines, right? And the game engines, like Epic, which owns Fortnite. Any of you play Fortnite?
Woo!
Okay,
Fortnite.
1 or 2 players, cool. So Fortnite obviously is a subsidiary of Epic, right?
It's low volume.
It's a little bit of a conundrum because the people that are building the tools also own some of the most popular titles, right? So it's as if Nintendo owning Super Mario Brothers, or if they actually own Animal Crossing, or PS4 owning Alex.
They're not really talking about it anyway.
When you build inside someone else's centralized ecosystem, they oftentimes are controlling what things you can do, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why my hand is here.
Open source and open source developer tools and game tools are going to have to really catch on in a major way in order for Corbin's question to really become a reality, right? So if we were to be able to buy like this amazing shirt, so Rafa, your shirt that's red, right? Let's say that there's only one red, shirt that exists in this game, and alt right now decide
let me get off.
Happens. I think
Here, somebody want to use it.
Where open source products have become interoperable, and the tools that allow for people to crowdsource different outfits and mint new outfits is going to happen. But I think we're still ways out before I think some of these assets and things are going to be really, really valuable. And then in a more practical sense, that's less philosophical, Corbin, the way I would answer that is I think the titles and games that we're most excited about playing are going to be really exciting. So if it's Gods Unchained or Skyweaver or one of these games that you get really, really into, where when you own a digital asset, let's say this red shirt gave Rafa superpowers, right? And Rafa, with this red shirt standing in the front, only Rafa has the ability attached to that digital asset. And so if this digital asset, this red shirt, allowed for Rafa to have extendable arms or like have fire coming out of his mouth, those non-fungible tokens and these digital assets, I think having extendable utility will be really, really cool. I'm excited not just for digital assets, just to be able to buy and sell on OpenSea.io. If you haven't checked that out, a marketplace for digital assets. I'm excited for when these digital assets have.
I'm a huge fan of OpenSea.
Totally, right? I'm super excited also for each of these digital assets to have new capabilities hard-coded into them. And so I know that's a general answer, Corbin, but hopefully we see game items that really do more than just than kind of sit there like a CryptoKitty, for example.
Okay, well, cool. Well, Sean, when Crypto Mondays was originally started, we didn't have any content because I thought, the real value is in the networking. And then a bunch of the other Crypto Mondays had content, and they were getting bigger audiences. So, we did, and it's been great to get thought leaders like yourself to come and speak. And thank you very much. And now we get to hang out with the other folks who are here. So let's give him a big hand. Let's see people clapping. I look like I'm clapping. There you go. Okay. So thanks a lot, Sean. Here, we shake my hand. Annalise?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Annalise, is Annalise here?
Yes,
first handshake in weeks.
Annalise, here, can you take photos of us? Here.
Sure.
So we can get a photo.
I will take a picture and selfie.
Okay, that's good. How we doing?
All right. Yeah, I got a few pictures. You look good.
All right, yeah. It's lucky you got a haircut before you came over. Okay, thanks a lot, Sean.
All right, thanks a lot, Lou. Thanks, everybody. Great to meet you all, and hopefully I'll see you at the next Crypto Mondays or next event.
All right, I guess I'll unmute you guys in case you want to mingle, talk. Feel free to ask any questions to any one of us here.
So, what do you think, Mike?
It's interesting to say the least, but yeah, I'm not sure there's any real utility here that you don't get. Oh, why am I getting bad?
Well, do you think Zoom has utility?
Jacob,
what the hell? Yeah.
Oh, Russia. Wow.
So to me, I think this feels a lot more.
There's a feedback loop coming. Somebody
feels a lot more personal. This feels a lot more like real life than Zoom does.
Yes and no. I mean, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, whoa, you're talking to all these expressionless people, some of whom are walking directly through you. Yeah, I don't know. We have the same issue with feedback that we have with Zoom, but here we have like these people showing up out of nowhere, which is weird. You would think there would be some kind of way to limit the.
I think so. I think people really.
Sky, right?
Kind of.
Actually.
Yep.
Wear headphones. Otherwise, there's a massive.
So Crypto Monday LA is well represented.
I'm Jerome. I'm sorry, what was that? Earlier. I'm the one that usually manages all of VR events, but I couldn't get here till 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's the main thing. That if you're gonna be here, you gotta have a headset on. Otherwise, I'm usually here to pick up on the people that have.
So
I'm really good.
Let me know if you want to do one for Crypto Monday LA.
I caught Chris's feedback loop in the meeting.
I guess you're doing Gypsy a little bit.
Anybody here?
Well, yes, I have my own. Yeah, I mean, we'll do it on Jitsi. I think there should really be just one for VR, or maybe not. Maybe it makes more sense to, given that you can't actually recognize who the hell you're talking to. Makes sense.
Here, let's go over here.
Bunch of
You
different.
following me over here, Mike?
I think so. I'm still sort of.
Yeah. In the meeting, really policing everything.
Kind of.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Hi.
Where are you coming from, Bits and Tokens?
What are we doing?
I don't know, just chilling.
So there is something to be said.
Why is everyone here?
I'm from Florida. Thanks for asking.
Oh, you're from Florida. Nice.
Yeah, and this is also Florida area, and I have another member from Bits and Tokens as well. That's in the Florida area.
Nice. What's Bits and Tokens, by the way?
Hey, Jake, you want to play
Bits and Tokens is a blockchain media company. So started out
I'm fine.
with
Let's just
just,
chill here.
videography and photography for other conferences and events, as well as I'm a big gamer and into the VR stream world.
I'm right here.
I went to IOHK
That's not me.
last year, and when they did their one of
Where are
their
you?
virtual
Jacob, I'm right
reality expose,
I'm right next to
I
you.
saw it and was just like, you know what, this reminds me of like, people could be here at this conference right now through virtual reality. So I started from then to try and be able to build this and learn how to be able to manage all this since last year. And
You wanna go play
That's
some poker?
Cool, man.
So
I'm fine. Let's just chill here.
a crypto
Why?
event or anything.
Honestly, I
that you guys
can't
want
take this game anymore.
Hosted any of that?
You ever play the other game? What's it called? Like, where you chat with other people?
That camera right there is actually streaming us right now.
Carter.
Cool. The blockchain universe?
Yes, Universe, but I put VR.
All of you
next to
guys
each
are
other as,
fucking gay as shit.
and you're gone.
Kick. There you go. Yeah, there's the trolls. I mean, it feels like people don't realize that. I mean, that's another thing with identity, and we've talked a lot about identity and blockchain, right? Like, people think that pseudonymous and like anonymous, like, I don't know, people like to see some of these social networks as a place
Is
where
Lou
they
around?
can kind of blow off steam or experiment or like try to be like trolls. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see the worlds that have fully no anonymity, where you're only able to show your real name in real life. And obviously that'll probably prevent like a 9-year-old from going in and appeasing a dare of one of his friends or whatever.
Yeah. That too, and you got a lot of people that just feel empowered when they don't have to show their face, feeling like they can say or do whatever they want.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I like the new groups feature of AltSpace. You can set up a group
Absolutely.
of people you want to be in the meeting and
interesting.
Join.
Yeah. That's great.
Consensus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah.
For the ticketing feature too.
I was talking with you online.
What's that?
I believe we were discussing on Discord, maybe not.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, I'm there.
Hey Merb. Hey Jeff.
Hey, what's up? Hey, did you guys
How you
have
guys
this
doing?
as a private?
I can't even
room
use
today?
it. No, it's public.
No,
It's
totally
open.
Public. Yeah.
Is it better to have a private one so like the
It's
trolls
not bad.
can come in,
It's
or-
just the fucking.
I mean, that then means that I need every single person here that's coming to send me a request letting me know that they're coming, and I
That's
have
what
to
we were dealing
whitelist
with,
each
right?
one of them. That's such a tedious process as opposed to just making it open to the public and immediately catching people that are bad actors.
And what about if they have the link? Can't they just come in with the link?
No, you have to be whitelisted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what he means by
Have an
like
event.
groups. You have to dedicate a group, and I need to know your name. So it's not even like the name that I click on and I see Jeff. You need to go to like your menu. In the menu, click on me. Underneath your name where it says Jeff, you'll see in gray the name that I need to put in on the back end to whitelist you.
Yeah.
Oh, so even on the first event you guys had, like I was whitelisted.
Hey, Jerome.
Yeah, everybody is. Hey, how's it going, Lou? I'm here.
Okay.
All right. Good to see you. High five. High five.
My guy. Unfortunately, my job doesn't care that there's a pandemic going on, and I still have to go to work.
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah, great turnout today.
Yeah, great turnout.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels great to actually talk to few people after being, I don't know how long all of you have been quarantined, but I haven't really talked to a group of people in almost 3 weeks.
And it's going to extend for another month, maybe even more.
I know, right? It's super weird. Like, this is literally like the only happy hour-y thing that I've gone to.
Glad you could make it. And has everybody saw the rest of the world? I know I heard some people on the live stream saying that the rest of the rooms are empty. I'll give everybody a tour, whoever is interested. Come on, follow me.
All right.
I can't move my camera. My camera guy is just going to be standing there by himself, but I'll be back, everybody that's watching the live stream. Come on, everybody. So this is the conference room. I made this for events to be able to, host your own events. I'll host them. I can put tables around here for booths and stuff like that. And then if we keep going over here, I kind of hid the stage entrance over there on the left. As we're making our way downtown, walking fast. All right, so on the right, I'll show you guys next the podcast room. It's kind of just an empty square room at the moment. We'll check it out in just a moment. Let's just keep walking straight. What is... Welcome to the esports room. So we do all sorts of streaming. Do events for conferences and, events like what we just had for Crypto Mondays. I also play video games. That's how I really got into virtual reality. So I wanted to be able to stream those video games. I can be able to do events where multiple people are up on the stage streaming from their computer, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, whatever console or gaming platform you choose. I can then be able to stream your event and everybody can be able to watch what's going on. So we can have a whole, 6-on-6, 5-on-5 tournament, whatever you want going on in here. People can watch. I could put like a leaderboard up on this white screen behind you. You could be able to watch the stream on the big screen. I could put chairs in here, all sorts of things. So whatever you want, I could change the colors. So each side is a dedicated color to whatever teams you want. Yeah. So this is the esports room. And if we go over to the podcast room, I'll show you guys where we'll be doing our podcast starting tomorrow.
Did you build that in the world builder of AltSpace?
No, you can't build any of this in AltSpace. I built this all in Unity.
Oh, Unity.
It's been a project I've been working on.
You did such a great job.
Thank you. Okay, if you can't tell, I had an inspiration from the Tron movie. Plus, there's a token called Tron, so kind of just felt like it fit.
Nice.
Welcome to the podcast room. I can set, multiple chairs up here so we can have kind of like what we had today. Lou, if you want in the future, we can put some chairs here and it can be more like of a sit down, relaxing style, podcast type of room. I do blockchain gaming style podcasts every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be hosting it in here starting tomorrow. We'll have me and the rest of my teammates up here, Annalise, Brian from Block the Central, Patrick, sometimes Ken, Bozak, and anybody else that'd be interested. If you want to join in, just DM me, message me in the Telegram or Discord, and I can have you featured on our podcast.
Very cool.
Anybody have any questions?
No, but thank you for the tour and thank you for building the space. I got to run, but it's so nice to meet you, and hopefully, we'll be able to meet again at the next event.
You know where to find me. I'm in the Telegram. Thanks for coming,
All right.
Sean.
I'll see you guys. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for sticking around, you guys. I'm going to go back out to the conference room where we have the camera set up at. For those that are watching the live stream, they can just hear me, but they can't see anybody. And for anybody that's wondering what's going to be behind this wall right here, I'm working on a blockchain museum that I'll be featuring in the near future. So I'm going to be doing a conference on April 22nd. That'll be in this area. But after April 22nd, I'm working on a museum that you can't access yet. And that will be a fun, interesting event for you guys to be able to see kind of a understanding of blockchain technology in a comic form as a museum. So as you walk around, you'll be able to see different pictures and comic strips learning about blockchain.
That's cool, man.
Hey, Rome, where is this live streamed?
This live streams on YouTube, Twitch. I think it's still.
Well, where can I watch it on? Where can I watch it on YouTube?
I believe I sent you the link, and I'll send it to you again on Telegram.
Okay, cool. Well, look, this has been terrific. Thanks everybody for coming. I thought Sean was a cool guest, and I really look forward, Rome, to catching up with you, Jerome. And seeing I haven't caught up with you for a little bit about kind of what you've been learning as you've been doing more and more of these. Because I've definitely been learning.
Stand on this side for me as you continue. You're in front of the camera. Got to be cognizant of where the camera's at. But yeah, continue.
Cool. Oh, there's the camera?
Yeah,
oh,
that's
live
streaming right now.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So, no, I was just saying that, as you've been doing a bunch of these, I'm sure you've been having some learnings. We're going to have our own crypto VR meetup on Crypto Z TV. So, can we do it from VR and stream it to Zoom?
I am working on that as we speak. Trust me, I've been working on that. I have an idea. I just haven't been able to. I'm almost there. I'll let you know once it's ready.
Okay, because I think that would be super exciting, right? I'd love to stream this, to do the thing on Sunday, and stream that to Zoom, because I think we'd have a big audience.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know what he's talking about, at 4 p.m. I will be on Crypto Z TV, a 24/7 crypto Zoom channel, where I will be discussing what's going on in virtual reality in the crypto spaces. I've been paying attention to this space for quite some time, and I had a feeling that there was going to be that day that crypto would blossom and grow in the virtual reality space, and kind of been preparing for that day. And thanks to Lou, we've been growing that momentum.
Yes, no, this is awesome. Thanks, Jerome, for all your help. And Lise, thanks a lot, you as well. You guys do an awesome job. It's an awesome space. And I am going to sign off now. But obviously the meetup goes on, I think for another half hour.
Yeah, we could go as long as I have it set till 9 p.m. So whoever wants to stay and party, let's have some fun.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Lou. Let's have some fun. Anybody have any questions about crypto? You guys can hit the little mute button above the menu, and you can talk. It's a free forum. Any questions? Hey, buddy. You're on speaker. Go ahead and again. Get a headset, and you're more than welcome to talk. But without a headset, you create a feedback loop, which is what's causing everybody else to hear my echo. And Brianna, that camera is live streaming. You're not going to see anything on it. But if you go to YouTube, you will see this going on right now. You're on a headset, and it's creating that. Yeah, plug your headphones into the headset, and that should stop that feedback. I guess because the speaker in the headset is creating a feedback loop for everybody else. Most likely the Oculus Quest, I'm assuming. Anybody else have any other questions? Guys, feel free to talk. So much people and nobody has it. What happened?
You gonna put anything up on the wall right here?
I can. Right now, he didn't give me anything that he wanted to put on. So I just put up a picture of Crypto Monday VR. But I can put whatever you guys want to be able to see up there. So if anybody has any videos they want to share, I can put that up there if you send me the link. And there's all sorts of stuff I could do in here.
Can you do PDFs on there too?
PDF? I would probably have to stream it. I don't believe that I would be able to put the PDF itself. But what you can do is put the picture, take the PDF and put them into separate pictures. and then yes, I could put the pictures up on the wall.
Okay, so kind of like just throw it on YouTube, and then
if you wanted to be able to like scroll through it and talk about it while it's up, yes. But if you wanted it just to be, pasted up against the wall for people to see it any time, I would do pictures instead of a PDF.
Okay. Yeah, great job.
Just take like screenshots. Take screenshots from the PDF and then put them as separate pictures in the world.
Where are you at right now?
Florida.
Oh, cool. How's it going down there?
I would say that more and more stores are closing down. A lot of people are starting to realize this is getting more and more serious. And yeah, it's just kind of getting ridiculous, but I understand why it's happening, and I kind of just want everybody to be safe.
Yeah. Right on.
What about you?
I'm in LA.
Okay. How's it going out there?
Well, I don't live downtown, so I'm like kind of like 20, 30 minutes out. So it's just quieter, I've always been, working at home primarily, so it's kind of
nothing different for you.
Change. Yeah, because my gym closed down, so that's the worst part is the gym.
What about you guys? Anybody else affected by the pandemic at the moment? Silence. Happens. Well, what got you into crypto, Jeff?
So my background's a lot of finance and capital markets, and one of my buddies, he used to do a lot of pipe deals, and then we were just talking one time because we would trade a lot of different stocks, and he was just like saying how he bought Bitcoin like at $3 or $4, and this is like when it was like probably 300 or 500 or so. It was like maybe 6 months before the Mt. Gox hack, and then I was just like,
2012.
Why didn't you tell us about this thing? So that's kind of when I started researching Bitcoin, and by then I was trying to open an account at Mt. Gox, and it was just real, like it would just take forever to open an account. Yeah,
trust me, I know.
Retarded. And
I saw Bitcoin in 2011 when it was 30 cents.
Oh wow, yeah, like I was just like, this is nuts. And so I started looking at other coins like Ripple, and then later on like Stellar, and then like Ethereum and stuff. Just kind of looking at everything else. But I also organized the LA FinTech group downtown LA. So some of the guys were trading or crypto then too. So that kind of, it just, if you're in finance, you're going to obviously kind of do some research or some due diligence on blockchain and Bitcoin, and, just the potential of what's out there. It's still huge. And then even, I've never actually was involved with this VR stuff until like 3 weeks ago with the first Crypto Monday event. And then I was looking for an alternative for my event because they shut. So my event would be at my gym, which is like a private club.
One second. Hey, Hans, that camera's live streaming. If you walk in front of it, you're going to be in the middle of my stream. Thank you, buddy. Hey, come on over. You're kind of off from the camera. The camera can't see you.
Yeah, so they basically shut down where I throw my event for LA FinTech. So I went to your guys' event a couple weeks ago. Then I was just like, wow, I could totally do this, just VR this thing. And, I've seen like the Zoom and all these other platforms, or even, I was thinking even periscoping it too, because I would scope our events also. So if people couldn't make it, I would just sit there and scope and talk to people. But I was just looking as a comparison of this versus Periscope or YouTube Live.
So now that you said that, he had asked me where it's streaming. This is also streaming to Periscope right now. I completely forgot to mention that one. So I do audio, video, and virtual reality. So, bitsandtokens.com, we could be able to help you with your events, manage the event. You should be focused on, the projects that you're working on, not managing a live stream as well as managing all of the guests coming to the event. It's really hard to be able to do both at the same time. Trust me, I can speak from experience. Whereas having a team and being able to just say, hey, you focus on being on stage and talking and keeping everybody entertained. Let me stay in the back and handle all of the heavy lifting. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's totally cool. Like, once I was looking at this, I'm like, dude, this is really cool. And then some of you guys are talking about, some of the tokens to be used within, these VR worlds and stuff. And I'm like, wow, you totally could do that in here.
So in Altspace, no, it's a Microsoft product, so it's really close. I can see now that Microsoft's getting more and more into the NFT game. Maybe that's something that will eventually be added. I've been talking more and more to the developers of Altspace, so hopefully I can get them to warm up to it more. Honestly, I don't think that it's gonna be something that really pushes beyond where it's at now. There's other platforms opposed to Altspace that are doing that. So you got Crypto Voxels is one. I think they're discussing that, and they have the assets on OpenSea. So you can be able to go into Crypto Voxels, see different NFTs, and be able to buy them directly in Crypto Voxels. That also has a VR extension. However, it requires like a Google Cardboard style headset, and everything in Crypto Voxels is voxel art. So kind of like what's that game? Minecraft, if you've ever seen that kind of art style. Whereas I find this to be like a little level up. So to me, like Crypto Voxels and all of the voxel art style is kind of like the original Nintendo or Nintendo 64 type of days. Whereas like to me, this is like a PlayStation 1 era. And I'm just really trying to get to the stage where we're at like PS4, PS5 style streaming of events in virtual reality, and I don't see it being feasible with like downloading an app to your headset. But when we get 5G and there's more capabilities, I could definitely see where it's going to be as simple as clicking a link and it just loads you right to a game. Kind of like if you think of Google Stadia, I have that right now and I play that on some days. And to me, it's amazing that I could just literally go into Google Chrome, click on a link, and I'm playing a full game that like Doom. I was just playing Doom yesterday. If you know how big that game is and how much space it would take up on a computer, on a web browser. I played Doom on a web browser through Google Stadia, as opposed to needing to have kind of like a big, heavy computer that can be able to run Doom. So that's where I see virtual reality one day going, where I'll be able to stream my game to like the Oculus Quest, and it's not this old PlayStation style graphics. It's more like Doom style, really top end graphics that like I'm looking at you and it really looks like I'm looking at you in the real world. I can't tell the difference between your virtual avatar and your real world body.
Wow, that's nuts.
We're not there yet, but we will be.
Yeah, I think this pandemic is really pushing this VR. Like it's really pushing it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm glad that the two industries that I've got heavily invested in, both crypto and VR, both had a positive swing from this event. It sucks, and I'm sorry for a lot of, especially small businesses that were really deeply affected, but I'm also glad to see that so many people have swung to these different spaces and are understanding the possibilities with both virtual reality and cryptocurrency. I look at what's going on with Egypt today, where they're now limiting the amount of dollars that you can be able to get from the banks. Some banks in the US are now starting to do that, and I think that's crazy. I should be able to be able to withdraw my money when I want, because it's my money.
Yep.
So, guys, you guys are watching the right things. You guys are in the right space. You guys are talking to the right people. This is where it's at. This is where the technology is going. To me, I really like to correlate this to being on the internet in 1995.
Yeah, this is pretty early, man.
Even with the pandemic right now, it's pushing adoption faster. I think it's just increasing the timeline by mere days or weeks, if not months. But I don't think we're at like the 1999, 2000 boom of virtual reality or cryptocurrency yet. Well, we got a couple of new people in here. You guys have a mic? Feel free to talk.
Like this Quest is pretty big. I mean, it seems like it's like the killer app for VR. But I don't know the VR landscape as well. But what do you guys think? This Oculus Quest kind of like bringing in a lot of new mainstream attention?
I would say that it's like the Windows 95. Do you remember when Windows 95 came out? It was a big boom for people in the computer space. They thought that was going to bring everybody on the internet. Yeah, was your grandma using the Windows 95 and cared about
I think my
computers
grandpa
back
got
then?
Windows 2000. I don't know if it was
So
95.
2000 is when a lot of people really got in. Windows XP is when a lot of people really got in. That's the 2000 and 2003 era. I think we're at 1995 yet. Shan, there's a camera to your left, or your right technically. That's live streaming as we speak. Do me a favor and either back or forward. Doesn't matter. I don't mind. Just if you're gonna be on front of it, just be on this side of it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody have a question? How's it going, Abigail?
Are you guys going to be having events more often?
I'm doing events pretty much every day going forward, you guys. So Mondays is Crypto Monday VR. Tuesdays come back for Blockchain Universe podcast. That's where me, Block the Central, Annalise, sometimes Ken Bozak, Patrick, we get together and talk about what's new in the gaming industry, talk a little bit about blockchain gaming, but we basically talk about everything gaming on Tuesday nights. Wednesdays, I'm going to try and dedicate more time towards playing games, so we'll be in that the room on the opposite side of here where I'll be doing kind of an esports style arena. Now that we got Call of Duty Warzone, I'd love to get more people that want to play Warzone. We could get together and play in there on Wednesday nights from 8 till probably like 10. And then Thursdays, Bits and Tokens does Drunk Crypto, so I'll be right back in here with Drunk Crypto on the big screen. Fridays we do VR game night, usually at his place, which is the Blockchain Center in Miami. But due to the pandemic, I've been working on some ways to be able to reroute virtual reality game night from being at the Blockchain Center in the real world to being on, Counter-Strike Go as well. Jacob, thanks for sending me that question. Being able to do VR game night in VR. So working that out, I'm going to do a test this Friday. So if anybody wants to join me, that's going to be this Friday. I don't think I'll be able to really do it in Altspace because there's not so much games in here. I've been looking at being able to develop games for you guys in here, but that's going to be a process in the making. So for the time being, if you have an Oculus Quest, I'm looking to do VR game nights in Rec Room where we can play paintball, bowling, all sorts of games. And we'll have a blast. Anybody that doesn't have an Oculus Quest and just wants to watch, I'll probably have the video up in the esports room in here on Friday as well.
Awesome.
Oh, and then how could I forget? Saturdays we do our meetup, so we just come and talk about blockchain gaming and all sorts of stuff that's going on in the blockchain space. It's a little bit like what we're doing right now. There's no real agenda behind it, like Tuesday nights where we have a specific guideline that we're going based off of. Saturdays is kind of just a free-for-all. Come talk about whatever you want. And then Sundays, I'm now doing Rehashed with Ken Bozak and TJ from Drunk Crypto Podcast. Not Drunk Crypto, from Young Dumb Crypto. And Rice from Rice Crypto. And we talk about what's going on in the crypto space over the week. So literally every day of the week, I'm doing events. I made a world called Our Events. So in there is going to be a portal. So that way you can always be able to access my events. You don't have to find the link every week. You just have that one link. I'm just going to start pushing that going forward. That way you just load into that world first. There'll be a portal in that world. And then you can just jump in the portal to whatever event I got going on. And maybe I'll have some portals to previous events, like last week's episode of Drunk Crypto or a podcast or something. You can come watch that anytime. Jump in the portal, it'll take you to that world, and you'll be able to watch it on the big screen if you don't want to watch it from YouTube. Any other questions? Welcome to some of the newer people. Absolutely, more than welcome. Glad to get more people in the space, get more people into VR, educate people that didn't know what was going on with crypto. There's always some great questions. Our team really gets behind trying to get more people that are not aware of crypto into cryptocurrency. But I see that obviously you're going to get a larger audience of people that are into cryptocurrency getting into VR, which when I tried doing that last year, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. But now with the pandemic, it's like everybody's just like, oh yeah, I'll just go ahead and buy an Oculus Quest right now. Well, yeah. Where were you last year when I was telling you to do that?
And that's what every technology, right? There's always those early adopters that the hell? I've been saying this for years, and you guys are fighting the good fight.
Always trying to get that out there for everybody to see what's going on. There's so many different trends that you guys should be paying attention to now. Some of the things I'm keeping my eye on is like machine learning, artificial intelligence, quantum computers. There's so much more technology. Cloud gaming or cloud technology in general just really grabs my attention, keeping up with the trend between AWS, which is Amazon's cloud-based system, Microsoft's Azure system, and Google has their own cloud system. And then there's a bunch of other companies that are working on their own things, but I really pay attention to as much of it as I can because you never know when it can really affect you or help you in any type of way. I try to make sure I be ahead of the adoption curve rather than behind it. You don't want to be behind the curve and now all of these people that were doing real world events and putting all of their money into real world events, I'm sorry, I'm here to take away your business and have more people attend virtually and or work in tandem where you have a real world event going on and I'm streaming it into the virtual reality. We did Crypto Mondays VR, Scott over there at the Blockchain Center. We did one a couple of months back where we had people in the real world, talking about their project and people in virtual reality were able to watch. And we even had questions in VR that were then answered in the real world in real time. Kind of a mixed reality effect.
That's cool, man.
Technology is advancing day by day, and it's all due to you guys being here, participating, and sharing with your friends. I hope every one of you guys brings a friend next time for Crypto Mondays VR or any of the other events I host throughout the week.
Yeah, I said,
anybody else have any questions?
Is there a way to get your browser to like show that other people can see it, or is it only
you have to be the host of the event? So everybody has their own little personal browser on the left of the menu. But if you are like leading the event, I can be able to control the big browser that I put up on the big screen.
Got it. Cool.
Anybody else? There's so many people here. Nobody has any other questions?
Yeah, man, I got a quick question over here.
What's going on?
Hey, man, you were talking earlier about educating people new to crypto. What resources do you usually point them to, or what route do you usually take on that?
Bitsandtokens.com. I'm glad you asked. Bitsandtokens.com. My name. That's my company. We got into the space and really just thought about, there's so many companies, especially in 2017, there's so many companies that were kind of trying to educate people about crypto and just didn't have the right way of going about it. And we wanted to just basically make that one-stop shop website where you can learn everything about crypto. So with our website, you could be able to learn what is Bitcoin, see all the top charts, see all of the different information on different cryptocurrencies, see the market cap, watch our videos to learn about what's going on in the space at any given time. We have some Bitcoin 101 episodes. We'll probably do something again of that sort. And yeah, there's all sorts of ways that you can learn about what's going on in the space. YouTube is probably my favorite way to learn. And coming to real world events, seeing and watching somebody talk about something is one way, but being with someone that has the experience, guidance, the understanding, and having them break it down for you, to me, that weighs more to some people.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah, now this is my first time in one of your guys' events. I was just popping through the events, seeing what was going on, and seeing you guys. So awesome.
Thanks for coming, buddy. So do you have any questions about crypto? Come on in front of the camera and let's have that Bitcoin 101 conversation live.
I'm good with that. Now that's something
What
that
do you
I'm really
understand about Bitcoin?
What do I understand about Bitcoin? Shorter list would probably be what I don't, I guess. Cryptocurrency itself is, Bitcoin itself was kind of one of the creators, the founders of cryptocurrency itself, uses distributed computing in order to keep a distributed ledger, and uses proof of work in order to ensure that the changes to that ledger are accurate, and that's why people believe in Bitcoin, believe in cryptocurrency. There, you don't have to believe in anything.
You know a lot more than you put on, my friend.
Oh man, that's my thing. I love knowledge, and I love crypto, and I love VR. So just happened to hop in here in accident, and glad to hear we're talking the same language.
Absolutely. So for those that didn't understand everything that he just discussed, like I did, I don't like opposite from what I know everything that he was saying. For people that don't understand, let me break it down in a different way that I feel has helped a lot of people understand.
Please do.
I like to ask that question as to what they understand about it, so that way I can, leverage their understanding.
It's their assessment. I agree.
Yeah. So to me, the way that I would correlate it, because a lot of people just need it to relate to something that they already understand. So I love to correlate blockchain to the internet. You don't care about the internet. You don't care about TCP and the entire understanding of how my information goes from my computer to wherever it goes and back to your computer. You care more about getting to Google and searching what you want to know, going to Amazon and buying what you want to buy, going to YouTube and watching what you want to watch. That is the application side, and then there's the back end side. Blockchain is the back end side, the ledger-based system, the protocols, that technology that people, if you want to know more, learn what is blockchain. If you don't want to know more, understand that Bitcoin is just an application on the blockchain. It's just in other sense of quote unquote like Google, that Google is an access to information. Bitcoin is an access to value, understanding the value behind, in this instance, a cryptocurrency, online money, if you will, a way for you to be able to measure value behind something that has no physical real world entity, but can be utilized in the same way as your credit card by just going to a store and be able to spend your existing cryptocurrency. And by people buying and selling, it's just like a real world currency, but we've made it different by having it as utilizing the blockchain, a system that everybody can be able to see all of the transactions in real time, rather than with USD or any fiat currency. There's no way for you to really see all of the transactions in real time. There's no validation system. There's a need for a bank when you have fiat currency. There's no need for a bank when you have a decentralized currency like Bitcoin.
Agree, 100%. Absolutely. One of my favorite questions that I get asked is Bitcoin real money? Is it real money? And usually the answer I give to them is, you can think of it as any other type of currency. You can think of it as the yen. You can think of it as the peso. You can think of it as the euro. Yeah, you can't go to the store and spend it here, but you go to exchange, just like I go to a cryptocurrency exchange. I can easily change that Bitcoin for money and change it out, no problem. And
let me usually turns on the light bulb answer. You say here, but here probably means the United States, right?
Agree.
And I agree that in the U.S. it's not as adopted, which hurts my heart. But if you go to other countries like Sweden, you can go buy wine with cryptocurrency right now. There's a lot of countries that understand that Bitcoin is money, and they allow you to be able to use Bitcoin in the store. There's no competition between Bitcoin and their fiat currency, whereas there's a big competition. Even Donald Trump started talking about the competition and how Bitcoin is not real money and how it can hurt the United States dollar. To which I say, hey, it's my choice as the user as to what I want to be able to use. It's up to the store as to what they want to be able to accept. If I've literally gone to some stores now, and if you don't accept Bitcoin, I don't even want to be able to give you my money. If you don't accept Apple Pay or Android Pay, I don't want to give you my money. And that then pushes the demand on the store to then realize, oh, hey, I need to be able to ask this. When people keep going to the store and ask, hey, do you accept crypto? Do you accept Apple Pay? Do you accept Apple Pay? Do you accept Android Pay? The more people that keep asking them then gets the merchants to then turn around and say, I need to accept this because so many people keep asking me about it. If more people keep going to every single store you go to every single day and ask, do you accept Bitcoin? Do you accept Bitcoin? And more of us keep doing this, guess what's going to happen? Merchants are going to turn around and
they're going to get it.
Exactly.
Now, are you leaning more towards Bitcoin for that point of sale transaction, or are you looking for another blockchain technology that kind of addresses the speed? And I know Lightning Network, you can do it on the side off chain and then bring it back in. What's your preference on this?
Yes. So let me break down that answer more. I will relate again to that internet answer. How many people still go to the first website? Not that much. Nobody. How many people even here knows what the first website was, right? it doesn't matter to me per se to be a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm going to pay attention to the entire industry and understand what are the trends that are affecting or that are working and are not working. So I'm not going to say that I'm only for Bitcoin, but I'm not going to act like Bitcoin isn't the king at the moment. And I absolutely want to have as much Bitcoin as I can.
Same here. I definitely treat Bitcoin as my gold. And as you know, your gold you store away as your store of value. But when it comes to spending a cryptocurrency, I don't know. I know I've spent much more ETH than I have Bitcoin. That's for sure. As far as buying things out on the network and things of that nature.
And that's one of the things that I like and I value about it. For a lot of people that doesn't understand what's ETH. You might know about Bitcoin, which is, where some people go from USD to then Bitcoin. There are ways now to go to other cryptocurrencies directly, but especially when I started, you had to start with Bitcoin in order to then buy Ethereum.
Absolutely.
And then for games and other applications on Ethereum or other platforms, you needed to be able to buy Ethereum and then change your Ethereum to, let's say, Engine, one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, which gives you access to be able to buy assets for their different games in the multiverse. So I play a lot of the blockchain games on Engine, and of course I need to then buy Bitcoin to sell it to get Ethereum, trade Ethereum to then get an Engine, and then from Engine I could be able to buy or trade my assets. So it's a little bit of a hassle right now, and that's one of the things why I make my answer so short to yes. Not that I don't believe that Bitcoin's going to be the end all be all, but just that's, the fastest and simplest access. There's not really a way for me right now to just go from USD to Engine.
Right.
And that to me is a really big problem, going through that hurdle, that step-by-step process. It's already hard to get people to get Bitcoin, let alone get people to buy Bitcoin, trade it to Ethereum, trade Ethereum to then Engine. Then now that I have Engine, now I can be able to buy whatever I want on Engine. That's a hassle. How many people are going to play those games then?
I agree. Definitely makes that barrier much, much more difficult to get the average user in.
So it's all about, shrinking that window, that opportunity, that barrier, and giving people direct access from whatever they have. For me, I buy Bitcoin directly through Cash App and then trade it to wherever I want to be able to utilize it, and vice versa. If I want to be able to change it back to Bitcoin, I can then send it to Cash App and I have the Cash App card so I can immediately use it.
Yep, same here. I use that same process often.
So there's so many different ways. Pay attention, be woke. I'm glad we were able to have this discussion virtually. Anybody else have any other questions before I call it a day and go get some food? No other questions? Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jerome from Bits and Tokens. Oh, hold up. Got a question via text. How would you recommend someone? All right. So another question on how do you get started? I should have looked at who it came from. I think it was you. How to get started? I would definitely say go check out bitsandtokens.com. Learn, understand, YouTube. There's so many different ways to get knowledge as to what's going on in the space. But if your question's really as to how do I just go buy Bitcoin right now, if you're in the United States, to me, the easiest way is Cash App because most people already have it. If not, there's so many different apps that you can go and install, like Coinbase.
I like your style, man. Glad we're
Glad as well. And if nobody else has any questions, William, anybody? Monkey? No? All right, I'm out of here. Thanks so much for coming. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.